We welcome you in to the Small Ball Podcast alongside Trevor Micklin and Christian Ennis. I'm Scott Ayers. We have producer Andy back in studio. Woo! Oh, yeah, live studio audience. Everyone's screaming. But also, and more importantly, we have another guest on the show, Jesse King. Jesse, how are we?
We're doing good. Guys, this feels like when you watch ESPN every day and then you're on ESPN. This is my Tuesday ritual, flipping on the pod, driving home, and now I'm here. So it's
now you can listen to yourself on the pod on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's special.
As soon as it comes on, I'm just
it's funny.
How did I sound?
It's funny. Jesse's always, you know how we were like, if you made it at this point in the pod, send me a text, you know? Jesse's always the one. He listens to every show. And I wanted to start a new tradition on the show. We were gifted this this ball that its home used to be the Bucks facility. It's got a cool little Milwaukee Bucks logo, small market team. And none other than
Wesley Matthews.
Wesley Matthews has signed this ball. And I want to start a new tradition.
I like this.
Any guest that joins the show autographs the ball, and we'll just add to it. So I have the ball.
Wow.
Here's a Sharpie,
Signing
Jesse
on
King.
camera.
Wow, this is incredible.
Put that down.
Here, I'll give you a mic so you can talk while signing.
I feel honored. I'm the first one to sign this. Should I sign right next to
go for it.
Yeah.
Wes Matthews?
Don't write over it.
Do you think this adds value to the ball?
Definitely.
Didn't Caden get this for like $1?
Yeah, he did. Shout out Caden Murphy. He's been on the show.
Shout out Caden Murphy. Hasn't signed the ball though.
Also, one thing that you and Clay Matthews, Wesley Matthews, one thing that you guys have in common, I feel like you guys are very patient in the paint. Jesse King has the best pivot game I think I've ever seen.
I've played when I moved down here. I went and played like in an open gym a couple months. It's the only time I've ever played with Jesse, and to this day, it's the best basketball player I've ever played with.
You know that day when you're like on, and then the one person who's never seen you play is there. That was just it.
It was historical. I couldn't believe it. It was unbelievable. Every shot went in. You had Jokic numbers in the paint. It was sick.
Yeah, I'm like Jokic, but I'm 5'9", so
that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, if you play against second graders, it's like they don't know the difference.
They don't know the difference.
Whenever I play with Christian, I'm like, dude, he's like the Chris Paul. If like he's like what 5'11".
Chris Paul?
Yeah.
You are 5'11".
No, me? Oh no,
You're taller than
I'm
Chris
taller
Paul.
than Chris Paul.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, I have a 6 in front of my height.
Wow. You're taller than Chris Paul?
Yeah, I'm like 6 foot. Was 6 foot and some change. You know, I round up 6'1" with shoes.
Round up. If I round up, I'm also 6 foot.
Yeah.
Well, Jesse, we're glad you're on the show. It's a podcast of basketball sickos, and I think that leads into this first topic really well. Is Christian? This is really just for you and me right now, but maybe we're a little too much of basketball sickos.
Yeah, so Thursday night, I'm at In-N-Out with Janelle, and we're eating dinner, and I get an email come through, and it's from Scott and I's boss, our
great boss, by the way.
Love her so much. And it's an email that says that we talk about basketball too much in the office. So Scott and I, our jobs are in jeopardy.
Yes.
We talk about basketball too much into the office that people apparently around us are starting to complain. And, you know, it's a sad thing to hear when all you can do is just think about basketball. It's what we're consumed with.
It's all I can think about. I'll be typing an email like to whatever customer. I'm like, Christian, do you hear about this crazy trade? And it's like Marvin Bagley going to the Washington Wizards. Yeah. Like that
takes up like an hour conversation.
Yes. Yeah. That's our obsession with the game of basketball. So, you know, we've had to turn it down a notch, but it's one of those things too where it's also a badge of honor. Where, you know, some people, it's like, oh, I like basketball, but maybe you watch an 8 p.m. game every now and then. No, it's from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. at night for Christian
and just to be honest there, like, Scott and I get our work done. Mm-hmm. It's not job performance, you know. If anything, this keeps our job performance high. So Friday came around, And I don't think I said more than 10 words to Scott that day because I couldn't think of another thing to talk about with Scott.
I was like, dude, it's crazy. It's like 60 degrees today. Like I didn't know what else to talk about. So it made sense because it was like, all right, well, I guess now that our work's done, we're just going to sit here and be silent. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So from here on out, it's going to be like, we're only going to speak when spoken to. And, if someone else comes up to talk to us about basketball, hey, that's not on us.
That's not on us because we're not bringing you in.
No.
You're bringing us in.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're waiting for that invitation.
You guys are like the married couple that it's like they have kids and it's like that's all they talk about. And then when their kids leave, it's like they have nothing to talk about.
What do we do?
You
It's
know?
kind of sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good comparison because I mean, Scott and I, we both don't have kids.
Yeah, we don't.
You're empty nesters.
And our kids it's kind of like our fantasy basketball team.
Yes.
We're always checking on them. We're looking at them, talking to other teams, parents about like their teams.
And
their
it's
kids.
like the app isn't changing. The games don't start till 5 p.m., but it'll be noon on a Tuesday. And I'm like, man, I wonder what my team looks like. I'm like, oh, Dylan Brooks is still there. Good. Yeah. So it just,
The email is iconic that was sent.
It's an iconic because it essentially tells us, hey, you're talking about ball too much.
Yeah.
And it's like,
They were going to get fired for you guys, for this pod.
this pod. That's how dedicated we are. But we're also not going to get fired. So we are reeling it back. But on lunch and breaks, lots of basketball talk still.
Nice.
Love it.
But that's our love for the game.
Proud of you
We're
guys.
basketball sickos.
Really am proud of you.
Yeah. But we also want to be clear before this segment ends. We do truly love our boss. She's incredible.
Yeah, we don't blame her. We're like, we even said to each other, we're like, the other day, we're like, hey, we've kind of been talking about ball a little bit too much. This is before the email even came in. So it's like, we had some self-awareness.
We have some self-awareness. We're aware there's nothing better than a aware king.
Yeah.
That's who we are. We're reeling it back. Only ball talk during small ball, after work, during breaks and lunch.
Yeah, we wanted to push our limits, and now we know our limits. So
Yeah.
we're good. We're good.
But we are on small ball, which means, guess what? We're going to be talking about basketball for the next 20, 30 minutes to an hour. That's the beauty, Jesse, is we think an episode will go 15, 20 minutes long. Next thing you know, it's an hour and 15-minute
Trevor's
podcast.
mad.
Yeah, Trevor's
mad.
pissed off because
he's saying, let's wrap
he
it
has
up.
like somewhere to be.
Care about the youth.
Yeah, boo.
He's locked in over there, though.
Yeah, he's not
so
phased.
locked in.
He's ready for trivia.
I'm impressed. Well, guys, we're at the halfway point. And there's been a lot of different storylines in the NBA, but it's always weird to get to this point in the season where teams are starting to have already played 41 games. We're looking at the trade deadline just a few weeks away. But I felt like it would be a good time to talk about maybe some of the different storylines. And Trevor, because we kind of hogged that last segment, I want to start with you. What's a storyline or some trends now that we're at the halfway point that maybe we didn't expect?
Yeah, we're at the halfway point of the NBA season, and something I have learned in the first 41 games of this season is Scotty Barnes is a franchise cornerstone. He's averaging a career high in points, rebound, assists, blocks, steals. Virtually every aspect of the game has been taken to the next level for this Raptors team. They're losing a lot, but Scotty Barnes is solidifying himself as you can build around him. So that's my standout so far in the NBA season has been Scotty Barnes kind of his coming out party.
Yeah, how can you not, pay attention to what he's doing in Toronto? Yeah, they're losing a lot, but kind of with OJ being shipped off, we are now seeing the Raptors really seriously build or start to consider building around Scotty Barnes, bringing in RJ and IQ. It's going to be really interesting to see what they actually end up doing with Siakam.
Right.
There's a world where I think Siakam just doesn't get traded because Siakam wants to be in Toronto, so they might just extend him and then try to trade him later.
Right.
Where he has more value because he's on a longer contract.
That's what I think that they should do if he really does want to stay.
Yeah, does he want to stay in Toronto?
I think he does.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And it's it's funny because all the memes on Twitter are just I've never seen someone actively want to stay somewhere where it's been blatantly obvious they want to move him.
Yeah, it's not something common. And going back to Scotty, Trevor, that's kind of a victory lap for you because I know Christian and I we weren't sold on Barnes. He had a sophomore slump last year. It was like, oh, you really should have made a KD move.
Right.
No, it was the right decision to stick with Scotty Barnes, and he has been phenomenal this season.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate that.
That's a respect thing.
See, we can hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
We can own up when we need to own up. I've owned up with things before. Jamal Murray. I've done that.
See?
Now you guys are doing the same. I appreciate the apology.
There's a lot of respect on this podcast. It's a respect
Love
podcast. I will say something that stood out to me is before the season, ESPN came out with wasn't a straw poll, but a poll of where teams will finish, how many wins each team would finish with. Don't believe they had anyone in the West over 50 wins. Let's flip that on its head because I believe there is going to be 4 teams in the Western Conference with 50 or more wins. The Minnesota Timberwolves, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Denver Nuggets, and finally the LA Clippers. Those 4 teams are all going to be over 50 wins, and most impressively, the LA Clippers have figured it out. Because there was a moment where we all were kind of pointing and laughing. Now it feels like the Clippers have the gun and we're in a bit of trouble.
They're scary.
To honestly go with your point there, there's only a few teams in the West that I actually kind of respect as potential contenders. You list the top 4 in the West. To me, I'm not sold on the OKC Thunder quite yet.
Agreed.
Just because we haven't seen them in the pressures of playoffs. And then I'm still not 100% sold on the Wolves yet, just because we haven't seen them actually successfully play well in the playoffs. They went up against the Nuggets last year and they, gave them a good fight, but they still lost 4-1.
It was a gentleman's sweep.
Yeah. So to me, the only 2 teams in the West right now that I view as legit contenders is the Denver Nuggets and the LA Clippers. Denver did it last year. I don't see why they can't do it again. And the LA Clippers, they have the veterans that on that team that can put it together. Kawhi Leonard, a potential, if the Clippers ended up winning this year and he's Finals MVP, that's a guy who's been a Finals MVP on 3 different basketball teams, which is insane. I don't even know if that's been done before.
I can't imagine it.
I don't think it has.
Because I remember when he won it in Toronto, it was like, he's one of the few to LeBron for sure, because Miami and Cleveland.
He's done it twice, yeah.
And was he the Finals
wait, in
MVP for
LA.
the Lakers?
Okay.
3 times. Yeah.
Oh wow, how about that trivia question?
Oh gosh.
That was an easy one. That was a layup.
Foreshadowing for later.
But still, there's a few amount of players who have won Finals MVP on multiple teams, and we could see Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers, being added to that list.
Yeah, I mean, the West, we say it's super open, and it is. But we do get to a certain point in the season where a few teams feel like they're emerging over others. And I definitely echo that point on OKC. I think any team that faces them, especially in a second or third round, you have to feel a lot better than playing Denver or the Clippers. Heck, I would rather play OKC over a team like the Lakers. I would not want to play Anthony Davis and LeBron James. But it is interesting, kind of going back to that first point, 4 teams over 50 wins in the West, which is an extremely competitive conference. And the Kings might do it too. They'll need to figure some things out in the second half of the year. But the West is open, but 4 teams over 50 wins. Didn't have that on my bingo card.
No, and that kind of leads into what I've learned this year. I was very high on the Kings. Before preseason, I said the Kings are going to be number 1 in the West. I think we're very deep. And I was saying how the Denver Nuggets are going to have a little bit of a slower season, just, hungover from the NBA season, which that's in a way kind of true. But to me, after what I've seen so far with the Sacramento Kings, I don't think we're there. There's definitely tiers, and we're not even in the conversation of, a contender in the West. I think we're just a middle of the pack team right now. I mean, we'll see what we can do at the trade deadline, but that's something that I've learned this year is that, teams like Sacramento, Dallas, New Orleans, they're almost there, but it's clearly not there yet.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a humbling experience to hear Christian say some of these things. As the optimistic Kings fan that he is, that's hard to hear, to see.
Yeah, I mean, a part of it is because Harrison Barnes has been so terrible and Kevin Huerter has been so bad. It'd be different if, like, Kevin Huerter was having a year similar to last year. We all knew that Harrison Barnes he's cooked.
Harrison Buns.
Yeah, we've most Kings fans have been off Harrison Barnes for the last 4 years, but it's just the downfall of Kevin Huerter this year has really hurt the Kings, and it's funny that I say hurt the Kings because the Kings are on track for a better record than they had last year, but it's like you can clearly tell the Kings are just not the team that they were last year.
Yeah, I think that they've struggled early on. We're halfway through, so they can always turn it around, and maybe we find ourselves optimistic towards the end of the year. But I do think we're not there. We don't have the pieces. The roster's not constructed for an actual contender. I think we're a fun, as Scott would say, frisky team.
I love a frisky team.
That can maybe win a series and be competitive in the second round, but we are not serious. We aren't. So.
Yeah, and you nailed it. There needs to be a trade made if you think you can win it this year. If not, you have to do something in the offseason. I know they re-signed Barnes, and maybe they expected more production-wise, but he produces just at such a low rate. So, yeah. Jesse, do you have anything? We've kind of jumped over it. You have anything the NBA season?
I think Shea, Williams, and Holmgren are the next big three in the NBA.
Wow.
I like that.
Wow.
They are like so good, but so young. Like imagine the next couple of years. Like they're second in the West right now. Imagine I'm on Facebook these days.
Wow.
I saw
Hey, Boomer. Okay,
Yeah,
Boomer.
I'm wearing the Hokas right now, so that says it all. But this Ball is Life does like these reels of like people trying to guard Shea, and they did one of like the Magic, and like Jalen's, and he's just cooking everyone.
Yeah.
And Holmgren, like I was like so anti Holmgren, like I thought he was too skinny.
Same.
And, like, would not
Yeah.
be, but he has
Yeah.
like been balling out.
Yep.
Top 2 rookie of the year race, and then Williams has been balling out too. I mean, if they can get like one or just some like bench depth or like one more piece, like I think they contend for a championship for sure.
Let me talk about J-Dub for a little bit, because this
like
guy is like an under the radar rising star. He the beautiful thing about J-Dub is he's good at everything. He's not top 5 in the NBA at anything, but he is good at everything. Yeah. Defensively, offensively, every aspect of the game. It's fun to watch him because he has some decent size. He can play the 2 to the 4, really. He's a good shooter. He's a great facilitator. He has many games where he gets double-doubles with points and assists. And defensively, he's tough to score on. He moves great. And J-Dub, a rising star in his second year from Santa Clara.
Yeah, they have a couple rising stars. They have a certified superstar in SGA.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be a problem in the West for a long time, and they've committed to it. Some teams, it's hard. They have 1 foot in, 1 foot out of a tank. They don't necessarily know which direction to go. Washington is a good example. I think Atlanta's in that category right now too. Oklahoma City, not only did they embrace the tank, but they did it properly. Because then you have the other teams that don't do it properly, like Detroit, where they're just going to be a mess for a while. Oklahoma City have just done it perfectly.
And then they go and trade a couple young guys and a pick to the Wizards for Mike Muscala, who's 30.
Yeah.
And who else? Who else did they get? It's
Danilo
like,
Gallinari.
yeah, dude. Like, what are we doing in Detroit?
They said they needed outside shooting. Like those are the guys you get.
You guys need more than that.
Detroit. They say that like this is a trade before bigger trade. Sure. So I'm just like, I need to know what this big trade is.
Detroit said that?
Yeah, Detroit said that.
Got you. Good.
And so it's like, are you guys trying? I think they're trying to go all in and get like a Jeremy Grant or like a Kyle Kuzma.
Get him back.
Yeah, like they're just like they're trying to acquire guys that are like they're good, but like it's not gonna do anything.
Thread the needle.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what they end up doing and how they build around Cade, because it's just
I don't think I've ever seen a directionless tanking team. Usually when you're directionless, it's you're 20-20, you're barely over 500. You can't decide which way to go. They're the worst team in the NBA, and they don't have a direction.
They're buying.
They're buying at the deadline. It's the dumbest thing. If you're losing this much, you need to trade your losers. You need to somehow start building a winning culture, and they're not doing that.
Maybe that's what they did. Maybe trading Marvin Bagley and Isaiah Livers. They're like, these guys suck. These guys are losers. Let's get them out. Let's bring in, Denver Nuggets
perennial winners.
Let's bring in some veterans who have been on good teams, and maybe that helps change the culture a little bit. But I don't think it will.
No.
There's no chance that Danilo Gallinari, who hasn't really played in the last 3 years, is going to come in and make an impact.
Yeah.
Do you guys think they trade Kate Cunningham?
No.
No, but I think everyone else should be available.
I wouldn't be surprised if they say, F it, let's just go get Zach LaVine.
Because they have so many, they have Marcus Sasser, Killian Hayes, Cunningham, and Ivy. They have so many, guys who need the ball in their hands. And it's what are they
do you even
doing?
mention Thompson, the Thompson twin?
Yeah, the Thompson twin too, yeah.
Killing his butthole.
So it's just you need, they have a ton of guards and then big men. They have no
Well, they got rid of Bagley, who was one of those guys, Wiseman, and then I think Jalen Duren and Cade Cunningham are the for sures on that roster. Some would say Ivy. They really like him. I mean, and then Thompson, fans, he's a rookie, so fans are liking what they're seeing.
Yeah. Defensively, he's so good. Offensively, not
right.
there yet.
I would say you keep those guys, and you just whatever the heck you can do with those other guys, you do, and you lose. Just lose, and get a draft pick. Build that way.
Gosh,
Don't go get Zach LaVine, who's going to be making $50 million this season.
If they go and get Zach LaVine, because I will be honest, when we talk about the Pistons, I start to feel this emotion of sadness,
dude.
Because of how horrible they are.
We talk about them every episode, and they're the worst team historically. So,
if Zach LaVine gets traded to the Pistons, I think Zach LaVine needs to be on suicide watch. Because how miserable would that be? You're making so much money to be on the worst team to ever exist in the NBA.
The thing is I don't get how they're that bad. They have a talented I can think of so many bad rosters before. They have so much talent. It's just they just don't fit well together.
there's so much talent in the NBA. Yeah. There's so much talent. So, anyways.
Yeah, they're terrible. They're just a train wreck. Guys, that's a halfway point. Anything you want to add, or are we ready to move on?
I'm ready.
Let's move on. We have trivia, but before trivia, we got another great coaching rant. Coach Brown of the Sacramento Kings went to the podium after his game against it was against the Milwaukee Bucks. Dame time happened, but Coach Brown was ejected in that game for some questionable calls. And what's interesting about this, fellas, is in years past we might get one rant in a single season. This was essentially the second rant in a week's span. The one before was with Darko. How do you say his last? Rankovic is probably how you say it. Of the Toronto Raptors, who also said, "Hey, this officiating in the NBA sucks." Mike Brown now has said something. Guys, are we going to get to a boiling point in the NBA where Adam Silver might actually have to say something?
I think so. I think Adam Silver does need to address it because this isn't something that's just this year. It's happened last year. I mean, we were talking off air and you mentioned the refs last year tweeting that they're going to lose nights of sleep because of how poorly they've reffed a Laker game. And it's just it's a joke. It's a joke at this point. We need consistency. If a rule in the NBA is that you have to defend straight up, 2 hands up in the air, then that's the rule. You can't have a ref coming in and be like, hey, we're going to let, Brook Lopez put his arm straight up and then he can have an arm down below, kind of giving a forearm to the body. And then in that same game, they're calling a foul on Sabonis, but they're not calling it on Brook Lopez. Each player in the NBA it's weird. They all get ref differently. Brooke Lopez, known to be a good defender. And it's probably because he's not getting called for fouls that other guys are getting called for fouls for. So then he's able to get away with certain things, and that's why he leads the NBA in blocks. Same thing with like Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard
that was bad.
Dame got fouled by De'Aaron Fox because Fox, touched him with his hand, which it was a foul. Okay? But then on the other end of the court, Cam Payne's hooking De'Aaron Fox's hand, and there's no foul call. Dame got three free throws on that play. De'Aaron Fox turns the ball over, and the Bucks score. That's a 5-point swing in a game where the Kings lost by 1. Now, granted, the Kings did miss their free throws. I'm not saying that the refs were the complete reason why the Kings lost that game, but I mean, it came down to the final shot, and
It was
Dame
the same thing with the Raptors game.
yeah.
I feel like I just rewatched Mike Brown's rant right there.
That was pretty good, huh?
That was like word for word what
Yeah.
Mike Brown said.
And Darko had a similar argument where the free throw disparity was like 23-2 in the fourth quarter. And granted, 8 or 10 of those for the Lakers was intentional fouls at the end of the game. But I think a bigger argument was Scotty Barnes got fouled a lot, and there weren't any calls made. It really should have probably been like 23-8 or 23-10. So the fact that it's so subjective right now in the NBA is a massive problem because there are guys who get the benefit of the call. And as a Nuggets fan, I know my guy does not get the benefit of the call. Jokic's arms look like he's been attacked by a grizzly bear. And he'll shoot 4 free throws in a game. It's unbelievable.
And meanwhile, Joel Embiid is dropping 40 points a night against teams that are under 500 because he's going to the line 20 times.
Yes, it's a massive problem. And I'm not saying I've lost total faith in Adam Silver. All I'm saying is his silence, it's pretty loud right now on this issue with officiating. You like that?
I love that. Great segment.
Great segment.
The refs talks always fire me up.
Yeah.
They do. You had a reffing crisis video that we put on YouTube a couple
months ago.
Yeah. But the refs, dude, because it's so interesting. Like, what could they do? Like, what could Adam Silver do? I don't know. Start fining refs? That's never been done in a sport, I think.
Right. Well, and I think there's a union too.
Right.
So we can't hear like what's going on.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
You can't be openly critical of, like, people can say like, yeah, this player sucked.
Yeah, that is really interesting how like Mike Brown, he's going to get fined for what he said because he basically called out the refs. And like, why are the refs protected so much that like we can't even call them out for any wrongdoings, or at least give our claim of like, hey, this is what I think was wrong, and just kind of present it to them in our press conference. I don't understand that. Why is there so much protections for the refs?
It brings into question the legitimacy of the game or the integrity of the game, I think, because it's final. The game's over. The Bucks won. There's nothing that can be said or changed about it, even though it's wrong. It's like you have to bring in the human element of like referees are human. There's going to be mistakes.
Right. And I think every fan should go into a game like, ref can't be perfect. It's impossible.
Right.
The job's impossible. But what hurts is now some of these 2-minute reports are coming out, and they're wrong. Yeah. There was a game where Jason Tatum got hit in the back of the head, and there was no foul called, and the 2-minute report was like, yeah, we made the right call. It was like,
Buddy Hield even said he hit him in the head.
Right. Yeah, the 2-minute reports being wrong is crazy. When the refs are going to look at a replay and they come back and they're wrong, like you can see it at home that they're wrong. That shouldn't be happening. That shouldn't happen. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. So
is happening?
Still a crisis in the NBA. I don't see it changing. And
this season.
Not this season, but maybe here at Small Ball we'll all become refs.
That'd be cool.
It'd actually probably be a disaster.
No, if we became refs, we would just call all the fouls for our favorite team, and that would even out everything. That's simply what needs to happen.
It absolutely.
We need some small market fans that are NBA refs.
It would be so perfect.
I would hate that job. Too
I
much
hate
pressure.
it too much. But the soft technical fouls, those need to be done too.
Yeah. The hanging on the rim. We've talked about that.
Yeah, we
I
have.
want them to hang on the rim.
I want it.
Yeah, we have
chin-ups.
talked about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Do some chin-ups. Yeah, I like that.
It was fun to see Dame time in Milwaukee, though.
Oh, dude.
That's like the first maybe glimpse. I mean, he showed here and there, but like that was
That was peak.
Vintage.
Yeah, no. As soon as they inbounded the ball with 5 seconds, I was like, Dame's gonna hit a game winner. Like I knew.
Yeah, that hurt. There's supposed to be another guest coming on, our roommate's dog, but we're gonna deny him entry onto the set. But if you hear him whining, just know it's because he wants airtime. We're not giving it to him.
Love that.
You love that? Well, you're gonna love this next segment. We're coming back to trivia.
Oh yeah.
Now,
go.
Trevor, you seem excited. And for those who maybe it's their first time listening in a while, trivia, it's kind of an ancient thing of this show. We tried it, one of the first episodes, and it, would you say it was a disaster, Christian?
Yeah, dude. The trivia questions you gave us were way too hard. You went to like the furthest ends of the internet just to find the randomest trivia questions.
Like there was a question, I think it was like, what was De'Aaron Fox's dad's name? Or
Yeah, it was something crazy like that.
Wait, his dad's name is Aaron.
I don't know.
it was something wild.
Isn't like D Aaron? That means he like comes from Aaron. So it's
Of Aaron, yeah.
Of Aaron.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was which NBA player's dad played college football or something like that.
Oh, that's what it was.
It's so ridiculous. Which there's probably so many more than Fox.
So, listen, trivia got scrutinized by people on this show. I think the people at home loved it.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
loved it.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Fans loved it. But I've changed the format, okay? It used to be just a couple questions, best of. I was given half points left and right.
Yeah, that was my biggest gripe. The rules were terrible.
And
there's no consistency. You're like the refs.
You are the ref, Scott.
I was like,
You are
everything.
Scott Foster. I'm CP3.
Yeah, everything I hated, I became. But it changes. So, guys, there's 10 questions. Some of these questions are 2-part questions. How that will work. If you get the first part right, you get a point. If you get the second part right, you get a point. So there's some questions you can get up to 2 points. It's a buzz in. So you have to buzz in. And then you'll say, oh, yeah, the answer is John Wall. And I say correct. You get a point. However, if you get a question wrong, let's say you buzz in, Bradley Beal. I go, no, that's wrong. You lose a point.
Oh.
So there's stakes at buzzing quickly because if you get it wrong, sayonara. However, if you get it wrong, you can buzz again, but the other team gets a chance.
Got you.
So they'll get a chance. 10 questions, okay? And there's a couple questions where you just need to get the majority. And I will preface, hey, the majority wins this part of the question.
I'm nervous.
Are you nervous? For those listening, it is Christian with Andy as kind of his call a friend. So, Andy, if you know it, you'll slam. You'll say, Christian, here's the answer. Versus Jesse and Trevor. Any questions before we get started?
No.
No questions for me.
Nope.
Ooh, okay, this first question.
Hold on. Actually, I do have a question.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Each question's worth 1 point.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's big. And then tiebreaker. What's the rule on tiebreaker? Because I don't want.
I have an 11th question.
Ooh,
Beautiful.
If it's 5-5.
Fair
Trevor
enough.
seems really wounded from this last.
Yeah.
A lot of trust lost.
So, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Which NBA franchise has the most title appearances without a championship?
Yeah. See, that's what changes us up. Is if you get it, you can't just throw out guesses anymore.
Can you repeat the question?
Which NBA team has the most final appearances without a championship win?
I don't know. Wait, without a what?
without actually winning a championship.
Can I say that?
No, without winning a championship.
I know. They've lost a ton.
But the team has probably won a championship or potentially has a championship in their organization.
Yes, this team does not have a title. So if you've won a title, you are not applied to this question.
You don't think so?
This team does not have a title. Correct.
I'm gonna beep in, and I'm gonna guess Utah.
The Utah Jazz is not correct.
-1. I feel good about the one.
Buzz on in, Trev.
I feel good. Okay. The LA Lakers.
The LA Lakers have 17 titles, and that is incorrect.
I don't think you understood the question.
It's
It's the most losses in the finals.
No, it's
they don't have a
most
championship. at all.
appearances without winning a championship.
That's why I was like, no.
I was like, this guy.
Confident. I was like, okay.
What a dumbly worded question, Scott.
Wait, what's interesting too is like I said the Utah Jazz, who's never won, and you decided to go with the most winning franchise in history.
Okay. Can we buzz in
Can we-
again?
Yeah, you can buzz in. Everyone's guess.
Okay. Phoenix Suns.
It is the Phoenix Suns.
Jesse, yes.
go.
So is it -1 to 0?
The score is
Are we
negative
counting that?
1
That was obviously
zero.
so not the answer.
-1 to 0.
Oh, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be surprised if any of us are above 0.
I brought us back.
You'd
Yeah,
be
you did.
surprised.
Thank
This
you,
next
Jesse.
one is
Wait. How many finals appearances do they have? In
3.
3?
3 finals
I bet
appearances.
you knew that.
Utah Jazz have 2.
I didn't. I was
Jazz
just
have
asking.
2.
Hey, that was a great guess from me.
That was a
Great
good
guess.
I was thinking like, hey, maybe the Utah Jazz like back when there was an ABA,
Sure.
maybe like they've been around for forever.
Yeah.
So
No, that's a great guess.
that would've been
It's
it, honestly.
incorrect. If in future,
dude, you're on. What are you? You're literally on Jesse's back right now. You guessed the Lakers. You have no room to talk.
Oh, he's so sad.
Should I just start getting them all wrong on
in
purpose?
future renditions, I should make it so I can take off multiple points for really bad guesses, but I can't.
That was like the worst guess you could possibly give. The Lakers.
Hey, but I would be curious to see what team has the most finals losses. That's what I heard the question as. I bet you it's the Lakers. But it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
we don't
matter.
talk about the L word on here. So.
We don't talk about the L words, but we will talk about this next question. Which current NBA player has been on the most teams? And there's a second part, how many? So if you feel like you can
I
get
know
one of 2,
I know this.
is that your buzz, Christian?
Ish Smith.
It is Ish Smith. Would you like to try to
Hold
guess?
on. Quick question. You weren't even done giving the question and he buzzed in. I knew it was that too.
You should have buzzed in.
Buzzed it.
He wasn't done giving the question. I wait till he
He
finished.
did give the question.
I gave the
he just
question.
kept talking.
And then I said, and I was going to
We're tied now.
say, there is a second part if you would like to try and guess. How many teams did he play for? Now, either team can buzz in because this is the second part. But if this second part, you can skip as well if you don't feel comfortable.
So if I got it wrong, then
you would lose a point.
oh man.
However, it can be no skin off your back if you decide, you know what,
I feel like I know it.
I don't know if he. I mean, we would be dropping to under him. You think you know it?
I think I do.
Risk it. You want to win or you want to tie?
Are you serious?
I think so.
What have you seen it
Dude, we
somewhere?
gotta risk it.
Oh crap!
Yeah.
He
14.
buzzed.
14 is incorrect. Christian, would you like to guess?
Everything in me wants to guess, but I know I'm gonna get it wrong, so I'm not gonna guess.
No guesses. And you guys are going to pass, correct?
Yeah, we're done.
The correct answer, 13.
Oh,
Jesse.
close.
A great guess, but an incorrect one.
Because so he's been in the league for like 13 years, I think, or 14 years.
Yeah. And he's
Okay.
played for 13
I was
teams.
like thinking he was like either 13 or 11 was my 2 guesses, and I couldn't.
It's
I couldn't do it.
scary. And Basketball Reference is going to be the source for just about all of these. So if something is incorrect,
It's b-ball.
it's B-Ball Reference. It's not me. I'm their messenger.
I like that.
Question.
So we can buzz in whenever, just to clarify. that
Once-
rule.
His question was done. He just kept
Yeah.
But
talking.
I'm asking, can
Yeah.
we buzz in whenever? It's just the risking if
You can
Yeah.
buzz in whenever.
Gotcha.
So I might not even be finished. All right, question number 3.
-1-0, Christian's up.
-1-0. Christian is up. ABA basketball. Which 2 teams that moved from the ABA to the NBA won a title? You have to get both teams correct.
What's the one?
I know.
And I like that they're whispering into their microphones, discussing.
You want to say the first one?
Wait, did that team that you say win?
Oh, I do know it. I know it.
I think so. Say
All
the
right.
first one.
Christian thinks he knows it. You guys get
Do
the
we have to
first.
say both of them, or can we say one?
Got to get both.
Shoot, maybe we should have waited for him because we're going to give away. Go ahead. Go ahead.
One is the Denver Nuggets.
That is correct. The Denver Nuggets is one of 2.
The other one is the Philadelphia 76ers.
That is incorrect.
So I get to steal?
Yep.
It's Denver Nuggets, San Antonio Spurs.
That is correct, Christian Dennis.
About that.
I knew the Spurs,
wouldn't
and then
have
I
got
got
that
the
one.
Nuggets at the last
Yeah.
second.
I wouldn't have
Nuggets.
got the Spurs.
Nuggets and the Spurs. The score now. Christian with 1. Jesse and Trevor
-2.
with -2.
It's okay.
That's all right, though.
Long game ahead of us.
Yeah.
Long game. We're on
playing
question
the
number
long game.
4.
Yeah.
And this one is a tricky one. Who has the 3rd most titles in NBA history? And this is one, if you're not confident, I can give you a hint later on.
Who would be?
This is difficult.
Because I think they.
Oh man,
They're
what's the
speaking.
score again? 2 to -2.
It is the score right now is. Oh yeah, I forgot to give you. It's 2 to -2.
All right, Trev, what is it?
Buzzed in the San Antonio Spurs.
It is not the San Antonio Spurs. And Christian, before you guess, I believe you have 1. Because you didn't.
Oh, I think.
My
You're
guess.
at yeah, you have 1 point right now.
My
Christian.
guess is the Chicago Bulls.
Christian, that is incorrect.
Wow.
Yes. Thank you.
You were so nervous.
We're at -3 right now. This would help if we get this.
If you get this, we are at a point too where would either of you teams like a hint?
Yeah.
This franchise has been in multiple cities.
Thank you. Thank you for that. That's really helpful. Oh man.
Multiple cities. It's gonna be like some team that was like, oh, so obvious.
Wait. So what are the other ones that we were saying?
They're
I'm like
deciding.
blanking on teams right now. I'm like,
This is a tougher one.
They're currently still a franchise. I'm trying to figure out if they're East or West.
yeah.
This team, would you like the 1 hint?
Sure.
And each after this hint, you each will get a max of 1 more guess. This team is in the West.
Okay.
Western
Currently in the
Conference
West.
team.
Andy? Okay. They're whispering. Andy and Christian are talking. Jesse and Trevor are talking.
No, dude, I literally don't know.
Yeah.
No.
Buzz.
Trevor just buzzed in.
No, it's not.
I think it's the Warriors.
It is the Golden State Warriors.
Dub Nation.
Wow, how many?
They have 7 because they were
Wow.
also the Philadelphia Warriors from 1946 to 1962.
Dang. Dude, that's my team. How did I not know that?
-2-0 is now the score.
That was a good comeback.
And just like that, they're back into the thick of it.
I didn't know the Warriors were in Philly.
I didn't either.
That's yeah. I was like,
Same.
well, they have one with Rick Barry, so I knew they had 5, but I didn't know they had more. Wow.
I don't know my
This-
team's history.
I knew that.
Yeah, you did. It just took you like 10 minutes to figure it out.
Guys, this is where it starts to get a little tricky. Okay? These next few questions, the final score could be like -10 to -8.
Hey, we're playing golf right now.
But for question number 5, we're going back to college ball.
Okay.
Which
That's his specialty.
three schools have sent the most players to the NBA? The top 3 schools sending players to the NBA. You don't have to get the order correct, but you have to get the 3 schools.
I'll just guess. Kentucky,
Yep.
North Carolina.
Yep.
There's 2 teams, and I want to say I'm just gonna say Duke.
It is not Duke.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Kentucky, North
Okay.
Carolina.
So now it's our turn.
Yep.
Are you scared that you gave us 2 of them?
No,
Buzz,
Yep.
Kentucky,
Yes.
North Carolina.
What are you gonna
Yes.
say? I'm scared.
The third team, UCLA, UCLA.
It is UCLA.
Let's go, boy. Let's go.
It is now -1
Wow, it's all tied up.
to -1.
to -1.
Wow.
Wow, that was huge.
We got ourselves a
UCLA.
ball game.
UCLA.
Recording.
I was like, what?
All right, we're going to take a quick pause in the action.
Audio people. How's the audio
Dude,
coming in,
I'm a
Chris?
Spotify listener, so this doesn't affect me.
Yeah, this is the
So-
spot for the Spotify people.
Yeah. Screw you,
Yeah.
YouTube listeners.
The dog is under the table and it's just like touched my calf like softly, and I thought that was your feet. Jesse. It's like
Nice
what?
job. Give you a little pat.
All right, we're back.
All right, we are back, and we're back with question number 6. And with this question, you need to get a majority.
Okay.
4 out of 7. If you get 7 out of 7, I will give you 2 points.
Wow.
Are you okay
Which-
with that?
Which 7 cities only have an NBA team?
Oh, we have to get 4?
Like no other professional teams?
No other professional
NBA?
teams.
And when you say, are we including like MLS?
No.
So it's just baseball,
Baseball,
football,
football, hockey, basketball.
What 7 cities only have basketball
The
teams?
4 major professions: baseball, basketball.
We need majority,
You
but
need
if we
majority.
get all 7, we get 2 points.
And the second you get one wrong,
Buzz.
okay,
Sacramento.
correct.
Sorry, Orlando.
Correct.
no, I knew Orlando.
Better get these
That's why I
last
asked
two.
about MLS, because I think
that?
they have a soccer team. So that's why I was asking about.
Oklahoma City.
Correct.
Memphis.
Correct.
Let's go, boy. That's a point for us.
You don't want to keep going?
Oh, well, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah,
just
keep going for 2.
But it
Come
doesn't
on.
matter, right? Like, I can't get penalized for keep going because I can try to go for the 7, right?
Correct.
You won't get
Okay,
penalized?
thank you.
Okay.
Okay, let's keep
But
going.
I am gonna give you a shot clock. So if you guys can't think of one, then I'll buzz you.
Do I have a potential to get points if they can't get the remaining 3?
No.
Sorry, Christian. Okay, Jesse, let's think here. We got 3, man. I feel really good.
1,
Oh,
2,
yeah, I don't know.
3.
Washington,
4.
D.C.? What do they have?
Nationals.
Nationals,
Nationals.
and the Commanders.
It's Orlando, San Antonio.
Can I guess?
Oh yeah.
I wanted to throw out.
San Antonio.
Did you guys say Portland?
They did not say Portland.
We did.
They have MLS.
They said he just said that.
MLS
There's-
doesn't count.
Sorry, sorry.
This guy doesn't listen.
Yeah, man. And you guessed Orlando, who also has an MLS team.
I don't know the MLS. I just know I know Portland has an MLS team.
Brooklyn.
Nope.
Brooklyn doesn't count. Who's their other team?
I'm guessing they count one of those, the football teams or hockey teams.
Interesting.
What they had listed was Orlando, San Antonio, Salt Lake City, OKC, Portland, Sac, and Memphis. All right. Just like that, Trev and Jesse, 0 to -1.
Let's go.
Okay.
Which NBA player has the most turnovers of all time?
Ooh. I want to ask if it's current or retired. Shoot.
Turnovers of all time? It's obviously a player that like people know.
Just because of
It's not going to be like
Wow.
man. I want to know if it's current or all time, or like
There will not be a hint for this question. Which
we hold
NBA
out.
player has the most turnovers of all time?
We're gonna play it smart, and we're okay not answering this one.
Really?
Yeah.
So, Christian, the floor is yours.
With no hints, I don't feel comfortable enough throwing a guess out there.
well, it doesn't make sense for me to guess. If I don't know it, then why
you
would I
guess.
guess?
Right. Yeah.
What if I gave you guys a crazy hint?
We're forcing you to give us a hint.
Like that? That's
Yeah.
called unionizing.
Yeah. It is a current NBA player.
Buzz.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook.
It is not Russell Westbrook.
Sorry, Jesse. Wow. Oh, that hurts. I'm in pain.
It's tough.
I'm in
I feel like
pain.
I have an idea, possibly.
Whisper it to me. Ooh.
The player has played for a long time.
Guess him. The king.
I don't want to guess.
You want to guess the king?
Man, I'm trying to think like of players that are in the NBA right now who have played the longest. You got guys like Al Horford. I doubt he's the one that's turning the ball over a ton. You have guys like Jeff Green.
Can you give us the year he was drafted? Or no?
No.
Well, then that just like
It helps
Wait for him to
Christian.
guess.
Well, no, because we can both guess.
No, we
Christian hasn't
Oh,
guessed
Christian
yet.
gets- Christian. Got you.
Yeah.
yeah, because if he says 2003, we all know it's
Right.
LeBron.
True.
Darko.
Is that your guess?
Yeah, why not? Let's just guess LeBron. He has the most in everything else. So
It is LeBron James.
All right.
So it is
Huge
back to 0 to -1.
Oh, we're losing now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
It's a two
You
point
were
swing.
confident about
Three
Westbrook.
questions.
Westbrook's a good answer.
He's probably like, I don't know, top 5.
Yeah,
time.
he's number 2.
Westbrook is.
Wow, really good answer.
4,500. LeBron has 5,000.
Dang.
Wow.
This next question: which country has produced the most NBA players outside of the U.S.? Andy.
No, I did it. I did
It was
it.
Andy.
100% was
It was
okay.
Andy.
What? Go. 5, 4, 3.
It is Canada.
Nice.
Oh,
nice.
You didn't even have an answer.
Andy. Andy
That was clutch.
comes through. Canada has produced
I would not have guessed that.
57 NBA players.
Wow.
Who's,
It is
Shout out,
now
Steven.
one.
Wait, just out of curiosity, who's third? Do you have
I don't have that on me.
Okay.
Who's
No.
second?
Well, Canada's
Canada's
second,
second.
USA's
Canada,
first.
USA's
But
first.
second is. But no, in your defense, it was
that's
about
his
international.
question.
Yeah.
Trevor's out of it today.
I immediately, my first thing was like, I was thinking Spain just because of the Gasol brothers. But like,
Yeah.
All
I
right.
bet you're third. Oui.
2 questions left. Question number 10 has a chance to be a 2-pointer. However, question number 9. Who is the player that led in overall career points tallied in the NBA Finals?
Overall career points in the NBA Finals?
In the NBA Finals.
In like all time, every time they've played?
All time. It's all of their stats. Career points.
So the most points scored in a final in like finals in their whole entire career.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with the guy with the most championships, Bill Russell.
It is not Bill Russell.
Okay.
Let's do Kareem.
Okay.
He played in the most. I don't know.
For the win?
No, this
No.
is a tie.
Nine.
You guys were down 2.
Oh wait, we're tied right now.
You're down 1. It's -1 to 0.
This is question 9. There's 10 questions.
Got you.
Dude, I think it's the other one.
What? Wait, hold on.
I'm getting major deja vu
Yeah.
of Trevor asking score. But I've had an official tracker this entire time.
Yeah.
So that way I don't mess up the score.
That's fair. That's good. That's good on you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, you cheater!
He hasn't. He hasn't told me anything.
I don't know.
All right, we're ready.
Yes.
Kareem.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is not the right answer.
All right, go.
I don't need to. I already guessed. We can just move on.
Would you guys like to move on, or
you
would
won't
you
go
like to
again?
take another
what's-
try?
Yeah,
what's the
keep
score
guessing,
right now?
guys.
-2 to 0, and we're on question 9.
And question 10, you said is worth 2.
Potentially.
It can be.
And if Scott wants to change the rules at the
No,
last
no,
second,
no.
I think you know it, Christian. I think you should go.
I think you know it.
Yeah.
I'm not guessing. I'm winning.
Should we go with the other one you wanted?
What do you have to
Throwing
lose?
it away.
Yeah, because we could get 2 points and tie it
I
up.
don't even know what that dude's. I mean, is it ABA included?
This guy, you wouldn't have known him from the ABA.
Got you.
He's an NBA name.
Yeah.
There's like 2 guys.
He's an NBA name, certified, no doubt.
Certified bucket getter.
You're going for it.
We have to.
All right. I believe in you.
Bat.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan is not the right answer.
All right, because of this, I'm just gonna guess Jerry West.
Jerry West is the correct
I would not
answer.
have
The
guessed
logo, baby.
that. All right, Christian's gonna
The
get it
list
wrong.
is Jerry West
then we
1,
gotta pop
LeBron
off.
2, Kareem 3, Michael Jordan number 4.
That's because he didn't lose many games. I thought the Jerry West. When I was asking ABA, I was like old heads. But yeah, Jerry West never played in the ABA.
Yeah.
So when he said he's like, I thought more modern.
Yeah.
The score is 1 to -3. I have question 10.
Trevor is just looking at me with fire in his eyes. He's so pissed off.
We're still going to do this last question, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys made it all this way. Let's ask number 10. There are 4 players who have recorded a quadruple double. Name 2 of them to win the question. If you name all 4, Trevor, Jesse, I'll give you 3.
Andy buzzed in.
Andy?
Wait, let's discuss it because I think I know it.
If you guys are discussing, I'll give you guys an opening to buzz in. You don't got one.
All right, you say it. Or here.
It's most players.
There's no answer on there.
Elijah and David Robinson.
Elijah and David Robinson is correct. Yes.
Wow. Let's go.
Wow.
Good job, Andy.
Good job. The other 2, Nate. Yeah. Nate Thurmond and Alvin Robertson are the other 2.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, good job.
The final score, 2 to -3. Do you guys want to hear what the 11th question was?
Yeah, let's
might
do
as
the
well.
11th. Might as well.
Let's treat it like a winner take all.
Of course, Trevor wants to do that now.
This last question's worth 6 points.
This one was a little more open-ended because it could be a bit more subjective. But historically, this NBA draft is considered the worst in NBA history because there were only 9 players who averaged more than 10 points per game, and there were only 3 total All-Stars in this draft class. Which draft is it, and who was the number 1 overall pick in this draft?
2006.
It is not 2006.
Is that the Bennett draft?
The what draft?
Anthony Bennett draft.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, the Bennett draft was pretty bad. I want to say it was earlier than the Bennett draft, though. No, that's not Bennett. Bennett's in the 2010s.
Yeah, 2006 had actually multiple All-Stars. It had like 6 All-Stars.
It's the draft that Jamal Crawford was in, I think. Is it?
Yes, it is.
is.
Is
It
that
is.
Greg Oden?
I just don't know.
Number one pick?
No. I wonder what, because that had KD in it. I wonder what year, because it's the Jamal Crawford. I know it.
You're spot on. It is Jamal Crawford's draft
4?
earlier.
It's the 2001 or 2000.
It is the
Yeah.
2000 draft.
Threw out like 6 different answers there, but
But
Number 1 in 2000.
Who was the number 1 pick in that draft?
2000. Is he a notable name?
Denver Nugget legend.
Denver Nuggets.
There's a store
2000.
named after him.
Fred Meyer? No. Safeway?
I don't know. Elton Brand.
It's a big man. It is a big man. Played for University of Cincinnati. They were a 1 seed, but then he got a season-ending injury.
I have no
He's
idea.
named after a store.
Kenyon Martin Jr.
He was the number 1 pick.
He was the number 1 overall pick.
He
in
went
the
to Cincinnati?
He was a Bearcat.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So just
draft.
like worst NBA draft in the history of the
I don't
association.
know if you guys can tell. The energy has just been sucked out of me.
Yeah, dude.
I'm sad.
It was competitive
We
for a
won in
second,
golf.
but the final, Christian wins it 2.
And Andy.
And Christian and Andy win it
Yeah.
2 to -3. Would you guys do
Thank
that
you
again?
guys.
Definitely.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
That was fun.
I locked in. I locked in for those
Yeah.
Good job,
questions.
Scott. Great
Yeah.
questions.
Thanks, guys.
You did good.
Notice how there wasn't any Lennis Kleza questions?
Yeah.
I thought
He's got
about
the
it
trivia
too.
locked in now.
Dude, the Jerry West poll, Christian, that was money.
Well, I was like thinking it was got to be like a Laker or a Celtic just because of how
Yeah.
many franchises or championships they have in their franchise. And then what really solidified it was like Scott saying like, no, this is an NBA guy. Like he is known. It's like it's a logo.
I don't know why I didn't think of that. He literally won MVP and they lost. Like, you got to get buckets
True.
to get that.
Facts.
I think it's also too like we didn't watch Jerry West. Like no one talks about Jerry West's stats.
No.
So
It's
it's
true.
like it's easy for like our generation to like forget
Glance
about
over
him.
it.
Like we're like we need to know who Jerry West is and like we know he's one of the greatest to play, but it's like no one's like, dude, Jerry West posted this stat line, you know.
Right.
And it's funny, LeBron's second. I don't know if he'll catch Jerry West because I don't know if he's going to make it to another NBA Finals.
No, probably not.
It's beautiful. Love seeing the L words lose. Jesse, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
This is the time of the show
Fun
where
time.
we wrap things up. Christian thinks about something to say, and then we call it a day.
All the day.
So I hope you have something, Christian.
I got
Because
something.
For the great Trevor Micklin, our producer Andy, our great guest Jesse, I'm Scott Ayers alongside Christian Dennis. We say so long for now, and we will see you next week.
My name's Trevor. I lost in trivia.